Hey everybody, John and Lance from the bench, mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do so you get all our content here at SportsMap HOU. Lance, this weekend the Texans got another preseason win. Defense is looking pretty good, much improved. Of course, it couldn't get much worse than they were last year. Who were some of the guys that stood out for you?
Yeah, I actually thought this is kind of in-depth, but I mean, I thought from a pass rush standpoint, obviously Jacob Martin stood out. I like the scheme, though, that I thought guys, one thing, if you're going to have a twisting, gaming front up front where guys are twisting and picking each other, and it's called TE twist, TT twist, ET twist, all the twists. Well, that's what Lovie Smith likes to do to create some pressure from time to time with a four-man rush. And you need guys that are agile. You need guys that are quick laterally to be efficient, take efficient pass to the football. And that's what I saw. And I saw it from Charles Omenihu with one of his sacks. I saw it from Jacob Martin and just flat out his pass rush. Russ Blacklock is frankly made for that type of defense. So those are some of the guys that really stood out to me from a rush standpoint. The front seven, we said this last week, the front seven is just so much more active. And a guy that didn't impress us as much was Christian Kirksey for me. I think how you handle yourself when you're not on the move and part of a defensive front that's twisting and turning and trying to attack the downhill in the gaps, how are you going to handle it when you got to take on a block and get to where you need to go and shed blocks and make tackles? I thought that he was a little shaky there in the first half. So Grugier Hill too. When he's downhill, playing downhill, I think he's an interesting player. But when he sits on the second level and has to make a play, not nearly as good.
Yeah, I thought the safeties played pretty well. Watching Zach Cunningham, he was late on a couple of plays, especially the touchdown. The little screen pass touchdown he got. So there's still a lot of stuff to do. But I want to say this. I mean, you cannot emphasize enough what coaching means, and even at the NFL level. It's so talented, so many guys so talented. But look at the difference in this defense from last year with Anthony Weaver leading away and Lovie Smith leaving. I know it's only 2 preseason games, but it looks like it's night and day.
Well, people can say what they want, and I know it's a preseason game too, but and there's talk about, is it X's and O's or Jimmy's and Joe's? That's always the conversation. And, of course, to win at the highest level, you got to have the Jimmys and the Joes. It's the players. But I think when you're on the lower level of the defensive spectrum right now and you're trying to build yourself up from being one of the worst defenses, it has everything to do with coaching, because you don't have the talent on the roster to win at the highest levels, but you can turn that lemon into some lemonade with better coaching, and that's clearly what Lovie Smith has brought to the table. It's just a mindset. Attack the football. Look for takeaways. They're not turnovers, they're takeaways. We're taking it away from you, and that's a skill level that he's teaching. So I think the mindset that Lovie's bringing to the table is very, very important for the Texans right now, and that could be the difference, frankly, between being a competitive team this year and being one of those teams that's an easy win for opponents.
You lose JJ, but I think they're going to be better at pass rush this year. In large, I mean, Omenihu's going to take a big step.
Yeah.
It looks like anyway. You should be a little bit better. Malik Collins has a nice little spin move. We've seen that. He does that. Blacklock is going to be a little bit better. Jacob Martin, probably a bigger role right now. Whitney Mercilus is probably a lesser role this year. But you've got honestly, it couldn't be much worse than it was last year. But even with losing without many big name players, you are going to be better at rushing the passer.
Yeah, John Harris talked about this on the broadcast. He said this is going to be a hard year for cuts on the defensive line because they got a lot of guys who are more. We saw Brandon Dunn, who's been a big part of this defensive line rotation, was cut earlier in the week, and finally, there are some players who are really competing out there, and I think it's going to be interesting that you've got competition at the rush spots, competition at the interior spots. So you have, that's a good thing. Nick Cassero said he wanted to come in and create some competition. Give him credit. He's done that. The Texans have more competition at more positions, especially on the defensive side of the ball, than we've seen in several years here in Houston.
It's a little bit scary right now, having this defense pretty good. They might win some games. So this is a problem. No, listen, You're going to get that franchise quarterback? If you got him at 5 wins, right?
You got him in the 3rd round. Davis Mills, what are you talking about?
Well, there's
you got the franchise right there.
You got him with 5 wins. 5 wins puts him at number 4 or 5 or 6 in the draft. This is a problem. This is a problem right now. So this little thing with Lovie Smith and nice defense and twists and TEs and sacking the quarterback, this could pose a real problem in next year's draft.
This isn't the Rockets. We want this team to win some games.